So looking at the time and what's happening in this time gives you an idea of what truth to represent. The truth of you. You know what I'm saying? The truth of how you should eat. The truth of how you should live, how you should carry yourself. Can you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So that reminds me. So I heard a story once of for anybody who don't know, like the Anthony's history is lengthy. It's exciting. It's a lot of highs, a lot of lows. More than anything, a lot of lessons have come out of it, and that's where the code came from. I'm reminded of a story I heard. I can't remember if it was you, if it was another brother that was in the nation. But he talked about Elijah Muhammad walking down the hallway, basically, with a couple of other folks. I forget who those people were, but they were important some kind of way. And they saw a picture of Master Muhammad on the wall, and somebody said, "Who is that?" and to my knowledge, what I was told, Elijah Muhammad said, "Oh, just some white man."
Yeah.
Oh, just some white. And I was like, wow, like that was powerful to me. And I'm reminded of that in this moment because, again, that's truth out of season, where he could have went into it on who that was. He could have gave a sermon or a lecture right there on Master Farad Muhammad and who he was to him and their relationship and everything.
Yep.
But he chose to brush it off and say, "Oh, that's just some white man," because that wasn't what I'm thinking.
That wasn't the proper time.
Correct.
Wasn't time for that. You know, because we don't know. Well, from my understanding, we don't necessarily know what he was talking about to them, what he was introducing to them to at that time. And sometimes when you give people too much, it's over their head, man. It's like a one book that I used to read a lot called what is that book? The Book of Secrets, right? By this dude named Osho. We used to call him Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh. Man, that book so way over the top. Don't have nothing to do with your present day and what you're doing right now and what's going on. It's out of season. And a lot of the concepts come from ancient African thought, you know, ancient Egyptian Kemetic thought and all like that. I don't want to get the name game too much, but from back in the day that we created. But the way that we thought and the way we carried ourselves back then was for that time. So it was a lot of turn near the cheek type of stuff in our literature. You know what I'm saying? You knew who an enemy was and what you should do with an enemy, but the way we even defined an enemy back then was different, you know? So once again, if you're out of season, if you don't know how to be in that time, if you can't even assess the time, if you don't have enough sense to look around and go, okay, is this the proper time and place for this thing? You're just doing stuff, it's only going to bear so much fruit. It may bear none at all. And I'm notorious for that, man. I've created so many things, you know, people like, man, you're on the cutting edge, you're ahead of the time. It's kind of like, yeah, but I didn't necessarily know what to do being ahead of the time. You know, I didn't know how to reap the benefit of that. Thinking I had to create it right then and there, as opposed to, okay, I see it coming. I need the time when to release this. I need the time when to do these particular things. You know, the whole internet and doing shows on the internet and stuff like that. I was doing them on CD-ROM and stuff like that. See, I'm thinking that's it. But then everything switched from CD-ROM to the internet. So even though I could do it, the timing wasn't necessarily right. I should have waited and then been like, okay, I need for this to go smoothly, I need a better system. Oh, snap, this other system is coming online. And then tried to move in that direction. You know what I'm saying? So I've made a lot of mistakes with that all ahead of the time and, you know, letting that feed into the ego with the whole, you man, like I say, you're on a cutting edge. Okay, you sometimes get cut. Being on the cutting edge is sharp out there. You know what I'm saying?